Hey guys, my name is Abby and I've come up with a new challenge for people to try with Crossrail. Have just opened on Tuesday the 23rd of May. I thought, what is the quickest you can actually get around Crossrail to all of the stations that are currently open? Bear in mind Bond Street is currently still shut, obviously, because they are opening that later on in the year, hopefully, when the full thing opens. We are not 100% confirmed when it's been opening, but that's going to happen then. And this is with Terminal 4 still shut, which is opening in June. So this is like a sort of challenge to do within like the next, until they open up Terminal 4, and then it's going to change as to how quick you can do it. And I've come up with I feel like a unique way, but there's only really three sections in a way, that change what your results can be. Section 1 is Reading. We'll just label it as Reading. It's pretty obvious. It's the west section. So the west section, to me though, has two sections where it's going to be most important, and that's Reading, well, just the whole line out to Reading, and then to Heathrow. Heathrow services only operating from Hayes and Harlington from 24 and 54 minutes past. Trying to get that connections and try and match up with another train is a bit difficult, because you kind of want to bounce back with that connection, because if you're going to go and say, oh, we'll go to, Heathrow first, or, oh, we'll do something first, and then you want to bounce back and then get a west service, you've got to then look at the different times there. But I was looking more a case of going Reading first and then going Heathrow after. And this is the main reason for the fact that this has a unique section is that they aren't stuck to a timetable as such. But what I mean by that is they do have a timetable. It's not like the Central Core where it's every 5 minutes, so it is a much more rigid timetable, a case of this train is not here, this train is here, this train is here. So with that Reading bit, what I done first was, I was like, oh, we'll go Reading first. And there was this special train in the morning that between Maidenhead and Paddington, it runs fast. Well, between Maidenhead and Ealing Broadway, it runs fast from Reading. Well, from Maidenhead, but it originates at Reading. And this train starts at 07:43 from Reading, and it gets to Maidenhead 10 minutes later at 07:53. The reason for me making the change here is that it's very clearly obvious that the Maidenhead train is a connection train to be used as a stopping service, because it runs just 4 minutes later after the train leaves Maidenhead, and it gets to Hayes and Harlington for 8:23. Now this is imagining that you can do a minute change at Hayes and Harlington. There's no issues with the train out from Maidenhead, and you can get the 8:24 from Hayes and Harlington to Heathrow Terminal 5 at 8:40. You are then stuck at Heathrow Terminal 5 for about 21 minutes, which is the issue. And what I've done here is I've only looked at using Crossrail to get to all sections. I feel like although you could probably change up as soon as you get to Heathrow or something, and you can then go, oh, let's go to the other end and go to Abbey Wood. You could probably do that and work out a way to make it faster, but I thought we will choose the most direct route possible using Crossrail. So it might turn out quicker. If anyone has any ideas of how to do this quicker, then respond below in a way. It'll be interesting to see what people can come up with, and for people to actually try it in real life and see what the actual time you can get is. So at Heathrow, like I said, there's a 21-minute wait, so it's 09:01 you leave Heathrow Terminal 5, and obviously at this moment in time, services are terminating up at Paddington itself. So there you go, you got the 09:36 from into Paddington. So then here's the thing, is that because of where the Paddington stations are, how separate they are, because the Crossrail is up at the high number platforms at Paddington, and obviously Crossrail's Central Core is actually at the lower end of Paddington stations. It's got its own platform, own station, everything. It's A and B, like most of the Central Core in London. But with that, although there is a train at 09:39, which is a 3-minute connection, because of the fact that how big of that station is, I decided to schedule in the fact that you wouldn't get the 09:39, and instead you would be forced to get the 09:43 no matter how hard you try to run. Paddington to Abbey Wood, then you do the whole central core, and it gets you up to Abbey Wood at 10:12. Now, with Abbey Wood, there is a 3-minute connection at all times, apart from very early in the morning and very late in the evening, I'm pretty sure. But at all times, there is a 3-minute connection during the day. So we're taking use of that and going from the 10:12, we're going to go to the 10:15 from Abbey Wood, and we're going to go to Liverpool Street. Because although when the line is finished, Whitechapel will be the place you can change to get out to Shenfield from Abbey Wood. At this moment in time, with the central core not being linked up quite yet, it means that you have to go back to Liverpool Street, and then from Liverpool Street, get the 10:42. That's another 9-minute connection from Liverpool Street to Shenfield. Now, in theory, from what I'm looking at, you're looking at about 3 hours, 3 hours 40, 3 hours 38, something along those lines, is the quickest time that I have found. I'm going to keep trying to have a look, but that's the quickest time I have found using the timetables, which will be linked below. You're more than happy for you guys to try it yourself, to try and plan it yourself, and try it yourself and see what is the actual viable time you can get. I would just say the main important other section I was talking about earlier is the Liverpool Street to Shenfield, because yet again, that's not a case of it's set time between trains, it's set times, that's it. So it could be 9 minutes, it could be 15 minutes, it could be 5 minutes. So that connection is very worth it, but you've also got to remember that obviously with the stations as well, Liverpool Street as well is quite a big station, and from last time I went up to Liverpool Street, you were departing from the high level platform numbers as well. So just give that in mind when you're doing planning. You're not going to get a 3-minute connection at Paddington. You're probably not going to get less than a 5-minute connection at either Paddington or Liverpool Street. And I think that's the main rules I'd stick in place. But yeah, it's got to stop at all Crossrail stations as well. Hence why with the Maidenhead to Hayes and Harlington, I'd done that. As well as the fact that you then ride Heathrow Terminal 5 into Paddington, because then you don't skip out Acton Main Line. I hope that is good for everyone, and give it a go, see what the quickest time it is, and I'm going to bet that Jeff Marshall will probably let us know in a video and attempt it at some point himself. See you later.